All right, guys, I know this sounds like a complete exaggeration, but I mean this with utmost sincerity. What I have in my hands is like the most perfect bad anime. Yeah, I know I called Garzy's Wing the perfect bad anime in my review, but the difference in badness between Garzy's Wing and Voltage Fighter Gowcaizer is the difference between night and day. Whereas Garzy's Wing is bad in all the boring ways, sprinkled every now and then with hilariously awful lines.
You certainly got sexy.
Voltage Fighter Gowcaizer is bad in all the awesome ways. It's like a celebration of everything goofy and riffable about 90s anime. It has everything. A bad dub, hilarious character design, a non-existent plot, and enough baffling scenes to last 3 David Lynch films. This is nothing but shiny, glorious failure, and I love it like a mother loves her kid who can't stop eating paste. You gotta love this. The box touts the fact that this OVA was based off the hit video game, as if kids couldn't stop pumping in quarters to play Voltage Fighter Gowcaizer. Conventions were literally packed to capacity with Gowcaizer cosplayers. Children were going to school with Gowcaizer lunchboxes, and Mario's place as the gold standard for video game icons was usurped by, you guessed it, Gowcaizer. What's that? You never heard of Voltage Fighter Gowcaizer the video game? Well, maybe that's because it only came out here in the US on the Neo Geo system, and if you knew anybody who was rich enough to afford one of those, they were probably too busy burning $20 bills in front of the homeless to be bothered to play it. Seriously, $650 introductory price, plus another $300 for every game cartridge you buy? Why don't you just take a shit on the steps of the Salvation Army? And even if you had a Neo Geo system, chances were you couldn't even find a place that sold the cartridge because they weren't mass-produced. So, hit video game? Eat me. So, we begin with your prototypical exposition that states that an earthquake pretty much wrecked Tokyo's shit, and that some have taken this as a sign of Earth's impending doom.
Those who arose out of the ruins wiped away their tears and proceeded to rebuild the city. Eventually, out of the ashes emerged a 22,000-hectare man-made island called Tron City.
It's like the anime is willing me to make a Tron Legacy reference. Gowcaizer, I'd sooner fuck fire. We immediately cut the bullshit and jump right into the action as giant mechs are threatening... Tron City. What are these mechs? Why are they attacking? Nobody knows! They show up once here and are never heard from or mentioned again. Nevertheless, they seem to be giving the local authority more than they bargained for. But luckily our hero is here to save the day.
That can't be him! Yes, that's the Gowcaizer.
What the fuck was that? This scene is structured like somebody threw a bunch of magnetic poetry strips at the refrigerator door and read whatever stuck. Motorcycle, robot, bullets, boom, armor, more boom, speechless cops, weird chest guy, hot back, end. Not even 3 minutes into this OVA, and I already feel like my brain has been bitch slapped by a pirate. Not sure why a pirate exactly. So Gowcaizer keeps fighting random robots that appear out of nowhere, and then we cut to what looks like a humanoid Gundam, and then BAM! Ass!
Isato!
And here we have Masami Obari perfectly encapsulated in one single character. Let's run down this design, shall we? Ah yes, the character's pelvis seems to have been broken in several places and has been reset by a goddamn chimp. Hips should not be pointy enough to open a beer bottle. Notice how her abdomen is nearly 2/3 the size of her thigh. And are her tits popping out of her top and she just painted them pink? They don't even look like tits. They look like close-ups of a child's thumb. Also, I don't know if this is common for women to do, but I don't think they routinely hike up their thongs to give themselves wedgies. Finally, what is wrong with her cheeks? Is she storing nuts for the winter? And yet, this is still not the worst the show gets. Roll clip.
That's right. The dice have been thrown, my friend.
Okay now, let's get started, Mr. Batman.
Where do I even begin with this guy? Exposed midriff, low-cut hip-hugger pants, gargantuan World of Warcraft pauldrons, and that weird headpiece that Gambit wears? Why? This is like trying to watch Dragon Ball Z if every character was wearing Ugg boots and assless chaps. We're not even halfway through the intro, people. So we finally get settled in and start the show proper with the most painfully lazy and shoehorned exposition dump in the history of ever.
Next on the news, the girl that has been missing for the past 3 weeks has turned...
Yes, embedded in that bracelet I gave you, there is a Kaiser Stone. You can say that it's the last hope for humankind. Use it well. Isato Kaiser.
Is this some kind of morning ritual for him? He just wakes up every morning and looks at his power bracelet and reflects on how he got it? This is like if Hal Jordan wakes up every morning and looks at his power ring and goes, "Yep, an alien gave this to me."
Boo! I am the ghost of the one who was beaten to death by you in a karate match. As revenge, I am going to haunt you. I will haunt you wherever you go. Don't try to hide. I will haunt you. In order to appease my haunting spirit, I will need 100 shrimp dumplings. Let's see. It would be better with a nice hot cup of tea, and I want, forget the pork buns. And yes, all right, I want shark fin soup. Yeah.
It's too much. It's too much. It's too much. You ever seen one of those kinds of films where you just can't keep up with how silly and horrible it's being? Voltage Fighter Gowcaizer is exactly like that. It's just jam-packed with scene after scene of suck that I can't even catch breath. Just play a clip of this voice actress sucking. I need a moment.
I've never, ever killed anyone in a match.
Good morning, Isato.
Okay. I think I'm good. Apparently, Ms. Sunshine here is picking up our hero, Generic Man, for school. So, in the future, highways will be completely bereft of people so that motorcycle gangs can just park their bikes and shoot the shit.
Hey, Sabu, good morning.
She's all bright and sweet as usual.
She's a supersonic babe. And one day, pal, she's definitely gonna be my babe.
Hey, Sabu, don't get me wrong. I just want her in my clique, if you know what I mean.
Are you sure about that? You had that look in your eye.
Shut up!
Ouch!
Dude, I like men. Don't be a breeder. And proving my assertion that roadways are fucked in the future, Generic Man nearly kills a dude with his bike and then has the utter balls to chastise him for having the audacity to walk in front of a school while he was going 60 miles an hour.
This isn't New York. Watch where you're going.
Yeah, that's right. Isato was watching where he was going. I saw how it happened.
My apologies.
Come on, Isato! The chimes are ringing! Come on!
Oh, yeah.
Is Generic Man part giraffe? What the fuck is up with his neck? You could hide a can of Pringles in that thing. The school that Generic Man goes to is part of some sort of government conspiracy that involves what destroyed Tokyo in the first place, but this whole plot point is quickly brushed under the rug before even the first part is over, so there's literally no point in elaborating further on it.
All right, I'm taking the attendance roll. Elilia Icewig.
Here.
Yuichiro Irie.
Here.
Julius Wellfire.
Here.
Levi Elliface.
Here.
Jack Glasscock. Here. Percival P. Puckernobbin. Here. Hiram P. Reamed Up the Ass. Here. Fisty McCramden Hands. Here. Marjorie Time of the Month. Here.
here.
Siobhan O. Silly Name. Here. So, it looks like Pinky, the dude Generic Man nearly killed on his bike, is a new student here, and nearly every girl at school is doubling over themselves to gawk at his, pink hair.
Hey, Shia, what are you gawking at?
Come on, Tachibana. I heard about the new transfer student, and I just thought I'd check him out.
I've got no problem with that, but let me ask you something. Where's the rest of your uniform?
I just thought I'd play a little hooky today. What the hell?
That may be the most paper-thin excuse for cheesecake I've ever seen. So, whenever she's not in school and in her uniform, she dresses like an extra from Erotica?
My name is Candace.
My name is Jennifer.
My name is Rima.
My name is Danny.
My name is Autumn.
My name is Sandra.
My name is John.
It's from all that jazz, people. Get some culture. Besides, we saw her earlier on her way to school and she was already in uniform. Also, if she was going to play hooky, why the fuck would she be on her way to school in the first place? This makes no sense. It's like they were going down a checklist and making sure they would fuck up every category imaginable. We cut to Generic Man's professor discussing with some government stooges that he believes he found out who was responsible for the earthquake that destroyed the original Tokyo. And who can be this mass-murdering madman bent on destroying the Earth? The despot who won't rest until he's attained ultimate power at the cost of the entire planet? It's fucking uncanny, isn't it? The hair is right, and even the face is pretty close too. If only he had a 20-foot katana, then we'd be in business. And if only he didn't sound like one of those fucking Moonanites.
I have granted this Kaiser Stone to many. However, there have only been a mere few potential candidates sympathetic to our cause. As for those who have been granted the stone and have metamorphosed,
that did not sound the least bit awkward. If you thought it was awkward, it's only because of how hopelessly stupid you are.
It is an honor, Master Oga.
I am now Ozaki.
Shit, even Alan Rickman doesn't lean on his words as much as this douche. Sephiroth here is apparently the headmaster of Generic Man's school because why the fuck not, and tells his two subordinates, the student body president and vice president, to keep tabs on Generic Man and Pinky.
Kubira, enter now. Kubira!
I'm all right, Master Kyosuke. I cannot make sense of the currents of this dimension.
Wait for it.
Take human form.
Right away, Master.
What are you trying to do?
Well, I'm going out on the town with you, Master Kyosuke. And besides, if I stayed as a dog, I'd stand out.
I would say that was meant as a joke, but that'd be giving the writers too much credit. Obari, if you just wanted to make a hentai, make a hentai. Oh, you did. By the by, Miss Sunshine here?
Isato!
Yeah, they recycled her character design for Angel Blade. I can't show you because there isn't a scene where she doesn't have a foot-long cock, and last I checked, foot-long cocks are number 14 on the list of things I cannot show. Number 1 on that list? That. It's about here that the plot completely shits the bed and just wanders around aimlessly. In the span of only a couple of minutes, Pinky is ambushed by some shapeless being that taunts him, and then we cut to Sephiroth just doing the whole evil mastermind playing chess in his room while soliloquizing about how his plans are being set into motion shtick. And then we abruptly cut to a flashback involving the president and vice president and how they came to be Sephiroth's subjects.
You don't know anything about us! All your talk of Kaiser stones, it's not going to cure Suzu's sickness. Just leave us alone.
I know about it. I know a lot about you two. Even the forbidden love that you share.
Forbidden love? Oh no.
These wounds appear solely because of me. You were granted the Kaiser Stone for the both of us. It is through bearing this strain for the both of us that your body is weakening. It is because of me that your body is destroying itself.
If that is my destiny, I'm willing to give up everything. That's all. I'm not afraid.
Dear brother.
Okay, I know that in X, the brother and sister character weren't really having an incestuous relationship. That was just the fault of the dub script. But here, I don't think they're making it up. And just like X, this revelation completely derails the plot, which is fucking astounding because I was beginning to think that there wasn't even a plot to derail. Ugh. So, trying to backpedal as fast as humanly possible, Generic Man finds Pinky lying outside his doorstep, and it's implied that Pinky's dog woman somehow got him there. Okay, this raises several questions. How did the dog woman know where Generic Man lived? How did she even know about him? Why did the shape-shifting thing attack Pinky if he was just going to let him live? And most importantly, why the fuck is Generic Man wearing a sports bra? This scene is wrought with homosexual tension, as Generic Man probes Pinky with exposing questions and oddly admiring comments about his body. Why don't we play a little game? Here's the scene as is.
I'm Kyosuke Shingare. I guess I owe you for this.
Don't worry about it. I get the feeling that you have some kind of deep, secretive past. Am I right? The look in your eyes this morning said it all. And it sure doesn't look like you got those wounds from some bar brawl. They say that I'm a wild and crazy kind of guy, but the way I feel now, it's like I just stepped onto a strange new ship.
You seem to be a curious guy as well.
Now here's that same scene, backed by the Brokeback Mountain soundtrack.
I'm Kyosuke Shingare. I guess I owe you for this.
Don't worry about it. I get the feeling that you have some kind of deep, secretive past. Am I right? The look in your eyes this morning said it all. And it sure doesn't look like you got those wounds from some bar brawl. They say that I'm a wild and crazy kind of guy, but the way I feel now, it's like I just stepped onto a strange new ship.
You seem to be a curious guy as well.
I don't care if that was a cheap shot. That was a joke for Bennett. Pinky goes on about his wanting to kill Sephiroth because he killed his sister, and that he knows that the stone that gives Generic Man the power to transform originally came from Sephiroth, so he should get rid of it. But that has to come later because literally out of nowhere, the next scene is Generic Man about to tangle with pauldrons. I was beginning to wonder when the fuck he was going to show up. And no, I don't know why they're fighting exactly. Though the fact that this anime was based off of a fighting game doesn't surprise me in the least, considering the character's annoying penchant for screaming out the names of their attacks.
Backfire elbow! Flying neck singer! Geyser strike!
Wave motion fist. Their fight is interrupted, however, by Team Wincest, stating that they're here to test whether or not Generic Man can fully utilize his power.
Isn't it beautiful? Kaiser, this is the form of our love. Now, as we promised, we will show you the power of love.
Yes, wanton violence and destruction. Surely this is the power of love. Take a page from Team Wincest here, Huey Lewis. And speaking of Huey Lewis, the news doesn't look good for Generic Man as he's completely crushed by the power of Team Wincest. But luckily, Miss Sunshine saves the day. Sort of.
133rd Generation Priestess of Heaven, Karin-san, here to the rescue!
I wonder if it's too late to change this character's nickname. Taint misbehaves and tries to make the save, but fails miserably. Of course, the sight of her in danger spurns Generic Man on, and this cliche is so goddamn played out that even this pile of stupid feels like it has to play the meta card on this.
This could be interesting. They say that people are strongest when they are forced to protect a loved one. I think we can make you truly understand what that means. Although I don't think you can even stand in that shape.
So you two are aware that this will cause Generic Man to go Super Saiyan and beat your ass into the cement, and you still do it. It's not every day you see stupidity on this level. And sure enough, he goes all out and wastes their ass with a veritable nuclear strike. This attack kills the brother, leaving his sister to mourn his death and swears her vengeance. And get this, Generic Man is grief-stricken for having killed him.
No. I swear I didn't mean to kill them.
Isato.
I never meant to... No!
Really, asshole? Then what was this not 3 minutes ago?
If you hurt her at all, I'll kill you both.
Yeah, you could make the argument that the character was just letting anger get the better of him, but that would require stuff like talent, or at least the vaguest notion of proper screenwriting. I don't buy for one moment that this was intentional. After all the stunning ineptitude, we're supposed to believe that Generic Man has actual character? Household sponges have more character than this guy. And thus ends the first part of our look at Gowcaizer. If you think you can handle the near relentless onslaught of stupidity and nonsense that's ahead of us in part 2, then stay tuned. Till next time.
地平線から昇る太陽夜は明けるけれど愛嬌の街の歪んだ時間悪夢は覚めない綺麗のようなサイレンが走り静寂を切り裂く
Bueller? Bueller?